What are the growing pains of that 2-year wait until you release your first electric car?
Um, the growing pains
You got to
were,
keep selling cars, right? The way that cars are
yeah,
now commonly produced.
when we did our business plan 2 years ago, we called it the Never Lift business plan. And it's kind of funny because every major corporation does a business plan and they do an investor day. And the whole idea behind a business plan and an investor day is to get your investors comfortable in your future so that they'll buy your stock. Well, a brand doesn't sell stock,
Right.
but our investors are our customers. So we said, hey, we got a very important transition here. The biggest transition that this industry's ever seen since we went from horses to cars. And by the way, there's a couple categories that the transition is going to be the hardest. You know, muscle cars will be one of them because the muscle car buyer is very focused on ice performance, and for us, big iron block V8 supercharged ice performance in particular. So we said, we've got a tough call to make here. We know the industry's going here. We know we have to go here, but we can't wake up. We can't pretend it's not happening and sell all of the cars as if, the party's never going to end, and then wake up in 2024 and go, you know what? Everything I told you for the last 50 years and the car you bought last month, disregard it. I got something better. It would be dishonest. They wouldn't believe us. It wouldn't work, quite frankly. Now, it will work with some cars that are just commoditized A to B transportation, and people just want something that fits their needs. That's fine. You can do that. But with this buyer, you got to walk them through the process and get them to believe. And so we said, we need soak time. We need
Soak time.
Yeah, we need 2 years of talking to this customer, and not just us, the factory saying this is good. We need to bring in somebody who's one of them. We need to bring in an ice aficionado who is someone who loves the brand today, and give them a peek under the tent on what we're doing so that they're almost like reality TV. They can say, hey, I see what these guys are doing. I'm not telling you to buy it, but I'm telling you, you need to take a look at this and start to think about the process. So by the time we get to 2024, it won't be, hey, look at the new car and it's electrified. It will be, well, finally, I'm sick of this guy talking about it. It's finally here. Let's test it and see what it does. All that learning curve is behind you. So that was the whole idea behind the 2-year business plan. And the 2-year business plan is really schizophrenic because, to your point, I needed to sell ice at the same time. And so that's why we created Last Call. We said, look, we know you're not all going to come. We know for a fact that about a third of the industry has said only 5% of people buy a BEV today. The same number of people that are vegetarians. So it's a tiny percentage of the population that's buying a BEV today. But if you look at the people that say, on my next purchase, would I be willing to consider a BEV? About a third of the industry says, you know what? I'm not telling you I'm going to buy it, but I'm telling you that I will consider it for my next purchase. Now, when you go down to the muscle cars, it's about a quarter of the people that said, okay, if it's interesting and compelling and it gives me all the performance and you've overcome some of the hurdles, I'm willing to consider it going forward. Now, if you take all that math, how many people are millennials, how many people are ICE, it tells you that not every single person is going to transition. So we know there's some people that will not follow us. They will not go, at least initially, will not go into electrification. So we said, for those people, we need to tell them, this is it. This is last call. The lights are coming on at the bar. This is your last chance. If you've always wanted one of these cars, this is your last chance. So it's very schizophrenic. On this side, we're selling special editions, all these cool cars to celebrate the last call. And at the same time, we're talking about, hey, here's our SEMA car. Here's what the Banshee looks like. Here's how we're going to have the power levels of Banshee. Here's how we're going to let you modify Banshee. And oh, by the way, isn't it cool? You look at that and you go, that's crazy. But there's only 33% of the people, well, actually a quarter of the people in the middle that are not sure where to go. The other bookends, the other 75%, they know where they're going.
Yeah, you're throwing the kitchen sink, as you have said, at the current in-market cars, and your customers are really expecting that.